Thank you. I appreciate you. You know, before I started tonight, I had a conversation with a couple very important, um, very important energies in my life who are always protecting me, who always show up at the right time. And I asked one of them, I said, "You got my back tonight? You got my back on this show tonight?" And the energy I trust so much said, "Absolutely." I said, "Now you said only God could judge me, but I do a whole lot of judging around here. So I want to make sure you still got my back." And the energy said, "You know, I got your back. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it." That's what comes with the territory. So this is not a no judgment zone. And I got permission from Tupac Shakur himself to say that to you. So I'm going to say it to you. Okay? This is not a no judgment zone. This is a place where we see things and we say things. Sometimes we don't say them right away. Sometimes we hold on. And sometimes we say them right away. Like, I'm still wondering why Ed Steve was whispering in Critical Smoker's ear when Critical Smoker was there to protect Burgundy Blue from Ed Steve. None of that makes sense to me. But this is not a no judgment zone. You make yourself part of the story, you become part of the story. Okay? Rule number 2. Say it with me, because I know you're still up. Are you up? Oh, I swear to God, that was her in there fussing a minute ago, so I said 4. This is not for kids. Now, I mean, it's 10:20 at night. I know people whose kids are probably up right now, but not mine. Okay? Not mine. This is not for children. The subject matter is not for kids. There's actually a parental discretion warning on one of the pieces that we're going to watch tonight. And the other one is just way too toxic for kids, especially at night. It's not the example of how adults should behave in any kind of setting. Okay? So I definitely don't recommend that you have your kids around for this one. Okay? Therefore, I should not be called Aunt Della tonight. Although all my nieces and nephews are grown. Shout outs to them. Rule number 3. Please stay on topic. If you are live in the conversation and you have a live conversation, like you're here, this is live, I'm waving right now, then you should be on topic. Now, if you come in a little late, you might pop in a little at a different time, and then you might be a little bit off topic, but not too much, because it ain't much we talking about tonight. Okay? So please stay on topic. I could give a fuck what you think about Brittany Norwood. I think she's spineless. I think she's a pussy. I think she's a follower. I don't think she's very intelligent. And I think half the time she don't even know what she's voting about. So please don't come in here rooting for your favorite trustee if that's not what we're talking about. Stay on topic. I'll jump off topic just to give you the what for, but I'm always going to jump back. Okay? So you do it too. Stay on topic. All right? Those are the only house rules. I actually eliminated that other house rule. I still haven't heard anybody tell me which rule that was, which means it's not that important anyway. So I wanted to keep it as simple as possible, because that's what we did at Apple. We spent hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. That's why in the Kid Cloud, I don't understand how you lied on your resume, because I've worked for so many companies that verified, audited, and validated my resume and my educational experience. I mean, I had to show tax returns. I've had to show W-2s. I've had to show transcripts, degrees, how did you lie on your resume? You must not have been working nowhere, but I guess I get that. So anyway, thank you guys for being here for the house rules. Just in case you are still here, if you would let me know that you like being here, please hit the like button. I'll give you a second to do it. Slide on over and hit the like button. I appreciate that. And then since we're up so late, I know it's somebody you'd like to be up with. Now, they might be up with somebody else, but go ahead and send them this link anyway. Share the link if you would. I do appreciate that. And I want to give a quick shout out to a few people who are here already. Thank you so much for being here nice and bright and early. You know, we start early. You know, we start on time. If I say we're going to be here at 10, we start at 10. So thank you so much for being here early. And for anybody who may pop in a little bit later, just catch them up to speed, let them know what the tea is. But thank you so much, Scott, for being here. Scott, it seemed like we didn't spend the day together, huh? Me, you, Steven, Kai, we didn't spend the day together. Marlena, we didn't have a few episodes together. We didn't see a few things together. So thank you so much for still being here. Steven and Kai, thank you so much. And for Marlena, thank you. I still want to hear about that vacation on the coast because your energy feels great. Good girl. Good girl. And random news, shout out to you. Shout out to you for the work that you have done. For the things that you have done. And I mean that. Because it was a nice surprise tonight to see the episode that you did on Jedediah Brown, bringing things full circle and helping us understand the liar and scoundrel that the trustees have endorsed, supported, and paid to come into Dalton and run amok and run off with the people's money. Oh, you know what we're going to do tonight, random news? We're going to watch that together. Because I watched it while I was in the shower. At least I started. I listened to it while I was in the shower. And I had enough of a conversation with it. I had enough of a dialogue with it that I knew that tonight we needed to watch it. So we are definitely going to watch that tonight. Random news, thank you for being obedient to your calling, for not being a puss-ass nigga, for not being afraid, for being willing to be litigious, because I am too. And while they're not scared of us as Black people, they are scared of that white judge. And I take them straight to court, baby. My baby asked me earlier. She was looking at a business card. There he is. She was looking at a business card on the table. She was like, "Who is that?" And I was like, "Oh, baby, that's one of my attorneys. Right now we're working on something, so I keep his card closed." Shout out to you, Attorney Black. Listen, I'm very litigious. And there's one for everything. There's just like there's a demon for every assignment, just like there's an angel for every assignment, just like there's a feeling or a spirit, there's an attorney for anything. Anything. So don't do me wrong. Okay. So anyway, shout out to you, Random News, for being here. Thank you for the work that you've done, and we will definitely showcase it tonight. I appreciate you and your laugh. I am so in love with your laugh. I appreciate it. And Omega, we've been hanging out all day together too. Thank you so much for being here. And for the moderators who are able to come in during the day when I haven't even announced that I would be putting something up, I really appreciate you, because we never know when you're going to come and we're going to have a nice, peaceful episode where we can just watch an episode and kiki together, or where there's going to be a troll we got to watch out for. So I appreciate all of you for being here. Stella, thank you so much for being here. And for Eyes, who just bought the farm, thank you for being here. I'm going to celebrate that till I hear more about it. Hey, Mama Loved One, thank you so much for being here. And I don't think I missed anybody else. If I did, please let me know. And if you would, moderators, do me a favor. I'm going to ask you to do one thing for me. If you could change the way that you view your live chat from top messages to all messages. That way you don't miss anything. I would appreciate that. That would be awesome. It's something that I do when I moderate for other people and when I moderate for our channel. And the only reason I'm taking the extra step and asking you to do it tonight is because I may not be able to see the chat. What I see is on StreamYard, and it filters a lot of stuff out that I don't get to see. So sometimes that's why I don't always see you guys. Scott's fading. Well, Scott, I get it. Scott, I get it. This live will definitely be on Patreon tomorrow, so you will definitely be able to watch the replay. Thank you so much, Scott. And if you fade on out, fade on out. This is going to get a little toxic, so I wouldn't recommend that you watch this while you go to sleep, because I wouldn't. I don't watch toxic stuff while I go to sleep. While I go to sleep, Abraham Hicks is talking to me about money, and Neville Goddard is talking to me about money, okay? While I go to sleep. Okay, so I don't recommend that if you're falling asleep that you continue to let this play. I don't need your views that bad. When I was a phone sex operator, I would allow that to happen, because time is money, baby. But your energy matters. So if you are falling asleep, go ahead and shut this down, put on something peaceful, and go to sleep. And then you can check back in with this tomorrow. And thank you so much, Omega, for shouting out the Cash App. The Cash App. That Cash App. Thank you so much. When I said that I was saving every single thing you guys gave me toward my baby's birthday, I meant it, and I really appreciate it. And the dress that you saw her in, and the hair you saw her get done, all of that came from y'all. I was able to do some extra stuff because of you guys. I was able to get her some extra gifts, and she was able to open them on the ship. Instead of just going on a cruise and having our normal cruise, it was like a birthday party all week. I saved some gifts, gave it to her later. She had one at a thing 1 and thing 2 Dr. Seuss birthday breakfast. She was able to open her gifts, and it was just amazing. So thank you guys for what you gave for her birthday. Anything you give now is for, for everybody. For StreamYard, for YouTube, for some cantaloupe, for some watermelon, and for some strawberries too while they're still in season. So thank you guys. I appreciate the gifts through Ashe Unlimited. Now, what I really want you to do is I really, really want you to join us on Patreon. I really, really want you to do that. So please do take a look at Patreon.com/breakdown555. Check out the tiers. See which one works best for you. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to the moderators, and they'll be able to get the answers that you need about those different tiers and which one works best for you. So thank you guys so much. I love Miss Baby Della. I thought she was up, but I guess that's my neighbor's kid. I can hear. Shout outs to them, all of them. So anyway, let's get started. We are now 30 minutes on the dime into the show. The trolls are able to troll, so welcome on in. But if you are here, if you are a Bush baby, if you are part of the Breakdown crew, if you're just here for the title or the topic or my mandala, then please hit the like button, right? What are you waiting for? All right, let me get our first piece of material up. I thought it would be appropriate for us first to take a look at the work that the update, the continuation of truth telling that, let me turn our music down a little bit, my bad. I feel like it's a little loud. I busted one of my neighbors the other night because her kids were too loud. So now I feel like I got to be a better example. Hold on. It's like maybe, Abraham Hicks says the whole world is you pushed out. And I was like, maybe I'm that loud. Maybe it's me. I'm the problem. Maybe it's me. So I'm going to try to be a little bit quieter for her. So if I turn that music down a little bit, then I won't feel like I have to yell. And if there's an imbalance in the audio, if the music is too loud or something, let me know, please. I am able to see it. So first things first, let's take a look at the video that Random News did. I thought it would be so appropriate right now because I'm still having people telling me of all the works of Jedediah Brown, and I can't find one. And it seems like the conversation ends when I ask for tangible results or receipts of all the work that Jesus Christ has done for Dalton. I have not been able to quantify it or qualify it. And I thought it would be a good idea to allow Random News's presentation to update the people of Dalton, because I know a lot of y'all watch me. I know a lot of folks from Dalton are here. Once you get your free pass, sometimes troll you do, and once you get the free pass after you subscribe to join the conversation in a great and productive way, you do that as well. So those of you who are here from Dalton, shout outs to you. I hope you are listening, because this is especially for you. If you ever twerked on a pot outside the village, if you ever went off on somebody inside of a meeting with Jedediah, if you have donated toward him or anything, the monkey or whatever, and Hannibal is hungry, I hope you watching too. I really hope you paying attention. I really hope you're paying attention. So let me go ahead and pull this up for us, and we'll go ahead and get into it. I do want to remind us, I feel like I don't need to do this, but I do want to remind us that I am using this according to fair use. And fair use gives me allowance to use this for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. And according to the YouTube community guidelines, which I do teach on another channel called Creators Learning Together, because we really are. It's important for us to understand that there are different elements that YouTube requires for fair use, so I do that as well. And if it annoys people, I try to explain that it's for fair use. So one thing that I would like to do is maintain a part of the footage so that I don't violate fair use, since Random News has not given me permission explicitly to use this. So I will show it in the small box unless it's necessary to make it bigger. But I wanted to know along the way, how many of you have already seen this? I saw some of y'all give them a shout out in the comments. And I saw a few of you over there during the premiere of this, which is always cool. But if you would just raise your hand, let me know if you have actually seen this. I love this logo because Sherlock Holmes is my nigga. Do you hear me? Even though Sherlock Holmes wasn't necessarily a real person, I've always been into the work of Sherlock Holmes since I was a little girl. I've read the stories. I've understood the mindset. I've understood the mentality. I've always been a fan of the accurate, keen, unapologetic, brazen confrontation magicalness that is Sherlock Holmes. And so for your logo to be so Sherlock Holmesy, Random News, I bow to you because you have demonstrated that of us who honor the Holmes. Not that one, this one. The only Holmes I know is Sherlock Holmes. It's hot in here. I need to turn the AC back up a little bit. All right, y'all, let's get it going.
Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
There are other parts of the conversation, but here's my point. Now he's trying to say, I'm big mad. I'm going to go after his channel because now I responded to him because I never have before. And so now he's going to try to push this message. And this is what's wrong with these people. They think that they can do whatever they want to do to me. But the moment I say anything or do anything, I'm big mad and they're just victims. It's just satire. He literally says on there at some point, I got thick skin, unlike you.
Oh, man. You guys might want to roll up about 20 blunts because this shit's about to get epic. Because everybody's favorite grifter's back. And if you can't tell, your boy is big mad. And you're about to learn all about it in episode 23, Jedediah Brown, Revenge of the Fraud.
And let me let y'all know, if you haven't watched this already, you are about to see Jedediah Brown. And I said this before. I said it about Jaguar Wright. I said it about Jay Morrison. I've said this about all the scammers and con artists we've worked on the Breakdown show. Susie Q, who've been here since the beginning. I said this about Umar Johnson. I've said this over and over again. They don't change. Tiffany Henyard, they don't change. Kiana Belcher, they don't change. Tammy Brown, they don't change. Ed Steve, they don't change. Mary Avant, they don't change. You're able to go back and see them play the same games, the same scams, run the same lines, because for some reason they don't think we keep it up. Somebody commented on my channel the other day and said they were looking for new information about Jaguar Wright and found one of my old videos where she said the same shit she's saying right now, and I ain't even on the bitch's neck right now. This is a video that got to be a year old. And I said, well, if she said that, then please believe she about to pop up pregnant too, because it's about that time. It's about time for Jaguar Wright to be pregnant again, right? Don't she get pregnant every June and July? So anyway, let's continue.
Now, I knew I would eventually have to make another video about this goofy. I just didn't think it would be this soon. But trust me, this shit's about to be fucking epic. Now, when we last left off, your boy was backpedaling. And he said this to the people at Dalton.
And all the people who questioned everything and dissected everything, now you have your chance. Go do a better job than me. I'm out your way.
And as you can see, when some people started seeing through your boy's bullshit, he got mad, told the people he was walking away so he can...
I'm going to get back to my private life.
But anybody that's been following the Jedediah series on his channel knows full well that this fool wasn't going anywhere. And tonight, I'm going to show the people of Dalton and everybody else that ever donated to this goofy how much of a con artist he actually is. Now, a few weeks ago when I got wind of Jedediah being down in Dalton trying to grift again, I released this video called When Activists Attack Part 2 to warn the people of Dalton about the person that he is. And I sent the video out to a few YouTube channels to try to warn them all. And only one of them really picked up on it right away. And it was Shay from the Late Night Crew.
For the record, I wasn't one of those channels, Random News, not that I know of. I check all my email at least once a week. And for the record, I wasn't. But for the record as well, I was really kind of trying to stay balanced about this shit too. So I probably wouldn't have said nothing at the time. So shout out to you. But I just want to clear my name because whenever anybody says anything like that, I want to make sure you know it wasn't me. Shout out to the Late Night Crew. Shout out to the real Late Night Crew. Shout out to Shay and his family and everyone on his team and all of y'all.
Shout out to them. Because they saw dude this goofy before he even showed up down there. And that shit was hilarious.
Residents, don't fuck with that nigga. He the police.
We'll have more on that later.
I promise I will be letting everybody know. Jedediah Brown, the motherfucking feds, nigga. He 12. He controlled opposition. You see it on yourself?
And if you haven't yet, you sure will by the time this episode's over. But we all know how petty Jedediah is. Whenever he feels as though his donations are about to get fucked up because he's getting exposed, then he has to go out of his way to silence the people. You know, like Tiffany Henyard does. So he teamed up with a few other YouTubers, and they got together and got the Late Night Crew channel struck, their main channel, so he couldn't make any money, and they can sit there and keep him quiet, which is the classic tactic for Jedediah. He goes out of his way to go on these cyberbullying campaigns whenever he gets exposed. Then he convinces a group of YouTubers to get together with him and dox you.
The thing is, and forgive me for that, if everything we said about the Dalton trustees and the way they move in Dalton and the way that they bully people was a lie, these things would not be happening. If we were lying and we didn't say this, they brought this man in to be controlled opposition and to cause chaos and to keep black people in check. If all of that was a lie, these things wouldn't be happening. While I'm trying to get us back to the right place, please forgive me, y'all. Bear with me one moment while I get it right. My thumbs. I got all kind of excuses. I'm using a different device than I normally use for this, and I need to get a stylist, so forgive me.
And dissected everything. Now you have your chance. Go do a better job than me. I'm out your way.
And as you can see, when some people started seeing through your boy's bullshit, he got mad, told the people he was walking away so he can...
I'm gonna get back to my private life.
But anybody that's been following the Jedediah series on this channel knows full well that this fool wasn't going anywhere. And tonight, I'm going to show the people of Dalton and everybody else that ever donated to this goofy how much of a con artist he actually is. Now, a few weeks ago when I got wind of Jedediah being down in Dalton trying to grift again, I released this video called When Activists Attack Part 2 to warn the people of Dalton about the person that he is. And I sent the video out to a few YouTube channels to try to warn them all. And only one of them really picked up on it right away. And it was Shay from the Late Night Crew. Shout out to them. Because they saw dude this goofy before he even showed up down there. And that shit was hilarious.
Dalton residents, don't fuck with that nigga. He the police.
We'll have more on that later.
I promise I will be letting everybody know. Jedediah Brown, the motherfucking feds, nigga. He 12. He controlled opposition. You see it on yourself?
And if you haven't yet, you sure will by the time this episode's over. But we all know how petty Jedediah is. Whenever he feels as though his donations are about to get fucked up because he's getting exposed, then he has to go out of his way to silence the people. You know, like Tiffany Henyard does. So he teamed up with a few other YouTubers, and they got together and got the Late Night Crew channel struck, their main channel, so he couldn't make any money, and they can sit there and keep him quiet, which is the classic tactic for Jedediah. He goes out of his way to go on these cyberbullying campaigns whenever he gets exposed. Then he convinces a group of YouTubers to get together with him and dox you, and then they'll go and strike your page. And once he's done doxing you and he has all your information, he'll make sure he puts it out there, especially your address. That way he can intimidate you and get a bunch of crazy people on YouTube to start harassing you. And unlike Jedediah, when I make a claim, I'll bring the receipt to prove it. So before I finish the story about Shay, let me show you what he did to one of his own fucking teammates. Now this woman named Sheena. She used to be part of Jedediah's group, the Freedom Frauds. And I first heard about these groupies during the Kanika Jenkins case. with this group of goofy brought nothing but chaos and stole a ton of fucking donation money. And once Kanika's mom found out about all the money they stole, she shut that shit down real quick. So everybody that donated to the GoFundMe Jad started called the Freedom Fund wanted to know where all the money went. So they asked Jad to see the ledger. And Jad kept telling Sheena, who became the leader of the Freedom Frauds, not to show anybody the ledger.
Well, he didn't want to release the ledger. It's throwing me under the bus. You ain't put it in perspective. I said because we don't owe them nothing, and we don't need to get them nothing to talk about.
More like he didn't want anybody talking about it, and they kept that ledger hidden for weeks. But then other YouTubers started putting pressure on your boy Jad.
I filled out the form 13909 on the Justice Organization. As we speak, well, as I speak, I'm getting ready to send the form off right now.
And you know your boy Jad wasn't happy about that shit.
I know I will receive backlash, maybe threats.
Looks like he's quite familiar with the way Jad handles things.
But I'm not worried about any of that. I felt like I'm handling this situation in a grown folks way.
Good thing he was, because Jad sure wasn't, because he came online pissed.
This man now, he done went so far as to get a petition circulating, talking about he want the Freedom Fund ledger to be made public.
And as you can see by the screenshots, dude wasn't playing when he said he wanted to see where that fucking money went. And to try to save face in front of his audience, Jad would lie and tried to play stupid.
She can post the ledger that I don't even know. I don't know what's on the ledger.
So the guy that started the damn fund knows nothing about this ledger now or what's on it. And if you're one of the residents of Dalton, remember he said that lie. Now spark up while your boy gets exposed.
Which he said, and I don't even have access to the Freedom Fund, so I'm about to get access to all of this. I'm going to get this, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that.
And anybody with 2 brain cells knew all he was doing was gaslighting his audience.
In all actuality, as we started to break things down, I was even told to, you should take something for yourself and just put it in as a stipend. And I said, absolutely not.
As you can see, Jad tried to convince Sheena to scam, but she wasn't going for it.
The only time that I retrieved anything from there was after Lamont was arrested in Texas.
Funny she should say that, because Jedediah would lie and told all of his followers they didn't use any of that money to bail Lamont out.
Lamont's bail is $750. Listen to me. We are not.
Y'all really, if you have not, you really want to take a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon and go to Random News' channel, because I've had the opportunity to watch every episode that he's alluding to. And so I understand what he's talking about. And I'm not going to do that for him here when he's already done a great job of it. So I would recommend that you guys go to his channel. A lot of those episodes are in the breakdown playlist, but it would be more effortless for you to just go straight to his channel, subscribe, take a look at his activist playlist, and you'll see all of this stuff. In this particular situation, this little dumb boy got arrested, and Jedediah didn't help him. It was the shadiest mess. And this woman, Sheena, helped him. And then I think Jedediah went and raised money mirroring what she spent or something like that. But anyway, I would definitely recommend that you guys take a look. Forgive me for interrupting, but I wanted to make sure that I told you that, because some of this stuff won't make sense without you really understanding the backstory. And Random News is accurate. He is concise. He's down to the detail. So you definitely want to take advantage of the work that he's done. And I also want to say this, all of this that you see happened in the background is what my energy told me was why I needed to go back up a little bit. I went to Patreon to have a private place for us to be able to communicate. And I'm glad that we have that. But this is why I said I was going to phase out of Dalton, because I saw how demonic. See, I don't have a problem with demons, okay? Demons are very functional. They're very obedient. They have a good use. But something that's demonic is a completely different energy. And so I don't like, he's a It's June and I'm bisexual and so is he. And there's a reason why we don't fuck with the male types. All right? There you go.
And I'm putting this on record. We are not going to utilize any resource from the Freedom Fund because this arrest was not connected to any direct case.
And as you see, this dude will blatantly lie to his audience just to make sure those donations keep flowing in.
Outside of that, the only other person who has received any money out of that account, I'm gonna let you all do that. I'm gonna let y'all come up with that.
Oh, don't worry. You know I got the receipts.
I have also been the only person from the very beginning stating, let's release the ledgers.
Yeah, because she got integrity. Where your boy Jab was all like,
well, he didn't want to release the ledger. It's throwing me under the bus. You ain't put it in perspective. I said because we don't owe them nothing, and we don't need to get them nothing to talk about.
spoken like a true fraud.
I believe in transparency. Let's release the ledgers. Jedediah stated that he sat down with the attorney, whatever the case is, and he does have the ledgers.
The ledger that I don't even know. I don't know what's on the ledger.
You looking at the face of a whole goofy.
This nigga, and he's a horrible liar too. Kamiko, shout out to you. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for the apostrophe. I do appreciate that. I really do. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, you're so sweet. I love a good apostrophe.
Jedediah had everything that was in those accounts.
I don't know what's on the ledger.
Fucking fraud.
The beautiful thing about it is, in the event that Jedediah chooses to respond, whatever the case is, doesn't even matter. Like, this is my one and done.
Yeah, if only that was the case. Because we all know when Jed gets exposed, he got to take that shit way too far and start doing some fuck shit. And he did just that when he put Sheena's address out to everybody. There was a problem.
That is exactly why, before I could even prove who he was, when he was coming in my chat as measured men and all those other little things and sending people here to spew his talking points, I was like, I don't fuck with you. I don't trust you. I don't want anything to do with you. That's why from the very beginning, I made my stand, because I didn't know anything about this man. I wasn't even in the country when he was running amok during these times. I was somewhere in China changing the world, doing real work, okay? Real activism, okay? But I saw it. And you can call anybody what you want to call them, but those of us who know, and when we trust what we know, we don't miss. And this is why I was so hard on him from the very beginning. And I would be like, no. And all the people that would come in here trying to be friendly with me and all the emails and all the stuff with his talking points. And then my good friend, who I honor and respect so very much, Carlton, was awesome enough to actually do some research on one of his talking points and found out the whole shit was a bullshit. The whole shit was a bullshit. We figured out that the whole police call between Tiffany Henyard and Jedediah Brown was staged. They planned that shit. They all in that shit together. They all in it together. Okay? And that's why I was that way from the very beginning. I had a feeling this man had a very demonic binding nature like this. And I don't fuck with that. I kill people in my sleep. You know, it's real easy. So when you don't want to get put in a situation where you would have to lose everything to protect yourself. I would hate to be in that situation. So what my father taught me how to do was back off first. If we don't have to fight, we don't have to fight. It ain't that serious. What he say? It ain't that serious. It ain't that serious. It ain't that serious. That's not what it is. But you know, at some point, you got to do what you got to do. I'm glad that it hasn't gotten to that point. He's been smart enough. He don't even say my name. He calls me the educated one, which is awesome. It's a great honor. I'll be that. And some people call me Della, which is great. But he's been pretty I don't, but I know me. There's nothing defined about me. I wouldn't be in front. One thing about me is I'm 100. That's for real, for sure, no matter where. So anything anyone finds out about me is nothing, because my life is pretty boring. My slate is pretty dry. Like it's I do 9-hour lives and my phone don't ring. So I don't have, anything to hide. My life is, I've fashioned out a very sophisticated, elegant, quiet life. And I'm appreciative of that. I can travel wherever I want to, anywhere in the world I have access to, wherever my passport and my education will take me. But he's been smart. And I appreciate that. I think once he figured out that I was into the magic arts, and once he figured out me and the devil are cool, then he realized that I wasn't the one to fuck with. And since we after dark, then I can just be honest with you about that. I think that once he figured out that I'm not a Christian, I'm not gonna play them forgiveness games. I get quit. I don't play. Like I don't take turns. I think once he figured out that I wasn't scared, then he realized that he wasn't. I'm not gonna shut up. I'll just go to Patreon. And then you got to pay me for my pain, and I'll cash out. But let me continue.
Jed. Sheena saw this and she was ready to go to the cops. So Jed jumped online and tried to gaslight and tried to play it off like he didn't do it. And if you're wondering who Alicia Spice is, that's one of Jed's troll accounts. Why he called himself Alicia, I don't know. Well, maybe I do.
Girl.
But
what did I tell y'all about Jedediah coming in our chat with all these female names, these female energies? Like, if you want to be one, just be one. I don't know if he'd be a pretty woman though. He's not a. I don't know that he'd make an attractive woman. So maybe that's why he'd rather just catfish as a woman. But that's been my experience as well. I'm gonna call those things out. That's been my experience as well, that he's come in my chat. The only male monikers he's used are measured men. Measured men, I think, is the only one. He's never come in any of our chats as Jedediah Brown. He's not going to do that, or Daryl Eugene Coleman for the matter. But most of them have been like, that's definitely Jedediah. I see you, sis. I've seen the same thing.
Flash was getting bad for your boy, so he had to come online and try to save face, and that shit was hilarious.
Nothing is more frustrating and more saddening to me right now than to have to come on here and to respond to negativity after I promised you all I wouldn't.
Hey Dalton, this type of shit sound familiar to you yet?
No, what's really sad is having to go live from a coffee shop because you aren't somewhere. You don't want to live like this for the rest of your life, Jedediah. It's not good for you. You don't have the credentials to do it the way you want to do it. You don't have I saw your passport card. It didn't even look real. And we know you don't have the education. You could literally, if you had the right education, honey, no, you can't be in schools with children. Wait a minute. I don't know where I'd be coming up with these crazy ideas. I was trying to think of something you could do where you could be kind of transient and still kind of make it financially without having to scam people. Maybe you could become a cook. Maybe you could go to school. I don't know. Let me see. I'm feeling in the realm of the Holy Ghost for you. Let me give you some advice. I try to build a brother up before I knock a nigga down or whatever the fuck. Yeah, queen. There you go. I feel like you got a sugar daddy somewhere. Why don't you just submit and allow your sugar daddy to take care of you? Is that ACILU or whatever his name is? And I'm not even trying to be funny. It just happens to be. I wonder if I'm not attaching to your energy or anything. I'm not interested in that. I'm actually just talking to the air. Yeah, work your magic with your sugar daddy. I think that would be a really good idea. I think that is a way. Be a housewife. Plenty of dudes do it. Listen, you might just need to move to the right place where it's okay. Get you a good old San Francisco, Scottsdale. Man, Riley Rogers got a house in Scottsdale. Rub up on him a little bit. You might, maybe. Oh, really? Really, Jedediah? Riley Rogers. Well, then why don't y'all just go on to Scottsdale, live out your happy, corrupt lives together? Because I'm going to tell you one thing they don't do in Scottsdale is corruption. Oh, you will wake up in Lake Havasu. Oh, they don't do. See, I don't live. I purposely choose cities where that kind of stuff is not allowed. Charlotte, here, Phoenix. We don't. This isn't an Orlando where you could do a whole lot of crime and get away with it. Or Atlanta where you could do a whole lot of scamming and get away with it. You know, there are cities in America where people can just go and run this kind of stuff. Obviously, Dalton. This isn't one of those. These are cowboys. But yeah, why don't you try that? I think, hey, Lady Sparkle, I think it would be a really good idea that you and because I don't know. I'm not telling you what's going on with you and Riley Roger. I'm just telling you that if it's a possibility, y'all move on out there and mind your motherfucking business and leave people alone before you wake up dead.
Why am I giving a direct response to Sheena James? It is because I am not able to reach out to her. She has blocked me on social media through the page that I'm using, Alicia Spikes.
And if you see Alicia at a protest, call him a goofy and keep it moving.
I cannot speak to her through my own page. And I have called with no response.
So this psycho doxed this woman, put her address out there, putting her life and her children's lives in danger, and you wonder why you can't talk to her. You're looking at the face of a whole goofy.
There is a
I might have distracted you from what you just saw with my goofiness, so I apologize for that. So let me explain what happened. This man exposed, there it is again. This man exposed her address, and she's got children, and whether or not she does or not, whether she's a man or a woman, whether she's single or whatever, people don't deserve for their addresses to be exposed to their homes. It's something that should not be happening. There are some things that are legally off limits, and that's one of them. That's one of them. And when he did that, I saw a chat recently where he and O'Shea Duke Jackson and Shawan Burns were discussing the Real Late Night Crew, the owner of that channel's house, what it looked like, the address. Oh, I saw that. And shout out to those who, you know what I love about our people, Shay and Burgundy? I love that we have people who can go into somebody else's chat, the ops, gather the intel, bring it back, and never say a word. They don't troll. Burgundy, your folks don't be trolling, do they? Shay, your folks don't be trolling people, do they? My folks don't be trolling. I love that we got a classy, intelligent, get shit done crew. I love it. I love it. Shout outs to all of you. Everybody who kept an eye on what was happening and saw that people's personal information was shared, specifically Burgundy Blue and Shay Hall. He shared his name, so I'm about to say it. He shared it. He's made that public information. So if I say it, that's because he says it. Not because Jedediah said it. But thank you. Thank you for making sure the information was documented when they were showing people's information, and you saw the conversations and you saw the participation and who was involved, and even the people that come back and forth through our chats. You were like, hey, I'm just letting you know such and such be over there kikiing, and they be over here kikiing too. And it's like, people got a right to go where they want to go. It's spectators in every sport. They just don't be carrying no bones, because at some point you got to choose. I mean, that's just the way I think some of us do roll, and I happen to be one of them. But I'm going to let him continue.
Post that right now is up on Sheena's page. Sheena, listen to me. The post says something to the effect that I have threatened her family, that I made her address public, and that I've threatened her children.
And trust, this ain't going to be the last time you see the dude do this type of shit to a woman in this episode.
And now there is a platform that is built on both ends. People have chosen their sides. They've made their decisions. Why can't we just move on?
I bet he does want to just move on now that he knows he committed a crime. And he knows that Ledger's about to get released.
But now I need to make this clear because I don't want any harm to come to Sheena or her children. Sheena, I'm telling you, I don't want harm to come to you or your children.
And if that was the case, he would have took the post down immediately when people were literally begging him to.
You all were mad at me, and I understood why you were mad at me. I put up our conversation.
And if you're currently teamed up with this goofy, just know as soon as you piss him off, he's going to come online and release any conversation you ever had.
Now, I know it's late, so I'm going to cut in here and I'm going to give you a quick bookmark. And shout out to you, Lady Sparkle. Thank you so much for being here. You know what? I remember when your name was something like Legendary Lady Sparkle, Triple D, XYZ. And we was like, I think it was Hear Her. Am I right? Shout out to Hear Her wherever she may be. Am I right, Lady Sparkle? Was it Hear Her that was like, okay, we got to work on that name? And we stopped the whole show and came up with a much more efficient name for you. And you changed it, and it's stuck ever since. Shout out to you, Lady Sparkle. Y'all don't know Lady Sparkle. Y'all got to check out some Lady Sparkle stuff. If you want to hear a bitch read a motherfucker down, if y'all want to hear, thank you, Stella. I try to be. I really appreciate that. If y'all want to hear a bitch read a motherfucker down, go just some good old. You said something about your dick suck. Oh, Jesus. I said I got to turn it down in the car because the neighbors might be listening. I think I was sitting in my car listening to you one day. I just drove up and I was like, oh my God, I got to turn this shit down. It sounded like somebody going off on me, and you know a bitch never would. Y'all definitely got to check out Lady Sparkle. Lady Sparkle brings that fire when it comes to a good old read. I don't know where you from. But you got a good old Atlanta down in your soul. Hey, Samoy. Hey, Samoy. And hey, Stella, too. Shout out to you guys.
With him and try to defame your character. Just ask former freedom fighter P. Rico about Jedediah.
Jedediah, fraud, fucking anybody else who associate themselves with Jedediah.
Y'all, who know this? I can't even say it. Ooh, he's so bloated. Ooh, he's so bloated, and you need some sleep. Who know who this is? If you know who this is, shout out to the late night crew. If you know who this is, give your shout out to the late night crew by putting this man's tagline in the chat. What is it? What is it? Now I gotta buy a shirt. Hold on, let me write it down because now I gotta buy a shirt. Now I gotta buy a shirt. You know when somebody has been taken, they say you never miss your water till your well run dry. Because y'all know I wouldn't even be on right now if Shay was. You know when you miss somebody and you be like, damn, I should have supported him more. I should have bought that motherfucking Wake Up Dalton t-shirt. Yes, that is Rico. What is Rico's tagline? What does that nigga like to say that he thinks made him so famous? Shout out to the cheat code. If you know, you know. What is his tagline? If you know, put it in the chat. I'm gonna go ahead and let him talk for a little bit. Now he on the right side of justice. He was on some fuck shit for a while now.
They iffy. They not to be fucking trusting.
And I hope the residents of Dalton are paying close attention.
Because I wanted you all to understand why the fallout was really happening behind closed doors.
Forgive me, y'all. I just want to stop the show for one moment. I want to give a quick troubleshooting tip. Something I did before I started this show. Something I always did before Shay started his show. Because our shows are very heavy. Okay? When I mean heavy, I'm not just talking about the subject matter. I'm not just talking about, I'm talking about the weight of the data that your devices are using to stream this show. It's a heavy show. That's why when somebody called our show a podcast earlier today, I was like, this is not a podcast, baby. This is not a pocket-sized broadcast, baby. This is a whole broadcast, bitch. But what I would recommend, Danny, is that you reboot your modem real quick. I do it before our shows, especially since I have new neighbors. Reboot your modem real quick and then come on back, and you should be good. Okay, just dump some of the shit from all the shows you watched of me today, and all the other shit you might have watched today. Your business is your business, partner. But yeah, that's what I would recommend. Yes, wake up, dog. What do you say? Wake up, Rosemary. I never heard him say that. I was in China somewhere, being fly as fuck. When all that
fallout's happening because your boy's messy and he was trying to throw his own team under the bus to save his own ass because of the ledger.
That's just me being me and needing to grow up in some areas. Y'all be patient and stop all this complaining.
How you gonna dismiss doxing somebody as needing to grow up in some areas? And since this shit happened back in 2018, your boy's still doing this shit to this day. So he ain't grown up for shit.
Why would you post anyone's messages that are private? They're asking me.
Quick answer, because he's a fucking snake.
You should black out messages that Sheena address is in. I'm just saying, people are crazy. Delete this, Jed. I did not know that Sheena's address was on there.
And now that he's getting on,
I wonder if he's stupid because he does stuff we just don't do when we know the law. There's like 1,000 ways to die on the internet. And there's 1,000 ways to kill somebody without doing this dumb shit. If you understand what I'm saying. I'm not talking about physically taking somebody's life. I'm talking about eliminating somebody from your virtual world. You can block somebody legally. You can report them legally for things they are actually doing and what's actually happening. You could just stop watching them. They're the little boy who makes a show about me every so often with my name in it. I think he's hoping I respond. I take it as a compliment, but I'm not about to say that person's name and go back and forth with them, and it just doesn't make sense to me because nobody sees this person anyway. There's a whole channel right now attacking Trina Downs. We don't care. We don't care. Ed, Steve, enjoy the internet while you got it. Okay, enjoy the internet while your body will allow you to, or you could just focus on getting better. But anyway, that's why we don't do late night shows that often, because she likes to come out and play.
All the backlash. Now he wants to play it like he didn't know our address was on there. This dude is a whole goofy.
People are saying the third picture. I then went down, found the third picture. That's when I read it. And look at this. It says right. I then put it back up there, and I'm making it bigger. When I put it back up there, I blotted out your address, Sheena.
Yeah, to try to save his own ass from getting sued. But the damage was already done.
I took it out because I did not know that it was in the thread.
And that lie would have worked had he not went out of his way to tell people he's not taking it down, since he left the post up for 3 days, so he had plenty of
let's
time.
keep in mind, I just want to break this down a little bit. And I said I was going to break it down, but my finger's too big to stop it like I want to. So I'm trusting your own intellect and intuition to see the little small details. But I want to talk about this one for a second. First of all, how do you not read a thread that you started? How many of us start a thread on the internet, on our own pages, and don't read every comment? Also, keep in mind, this Alicia Sparks is Jedediah. So the Alicia Sparks that posted this address is Jedediah. So when he says he didn't know she posted it, she is he. Happy Pride Month. She is he. He is she. I talked to Umar Johnson through a woman's profile for about a year, knowing it was him. The real Umar Johnson. He was messaging my mama. Me and my mama was playing all kind of games with that nigga. He didn't even know. We knew it was him. My mama would send him a link to something, so he'd click on it. Nigga would be in Philadelphia. Why? Because we got skills. Found out the email address and everything. He was using a first name Linda to contact me. I also was having conversations with Umar Johnson that were very different from the conversations I was having with this woman. This woman knew so much about things I asked about, school psychology type stuff, education type stuff. But when I said, you know what, I can't continue to converse with you until we can maybe like video chat or something, because it feels really weird. Like I've had questions about Umar Johnson and his integrity lately. And so I kind of need to check everybody at this point. And that person had difficulty connecting with me in that way. So I was like, gotcha, Umar. Gotcha. You know, so like I've seen this shit before. This isn't, all right, guys, have a good dinner. Enjoy. Yeah, I think, you know, I don't even know if he forget. I just think, I think he's stupid. I think he's that arrogant. There are some people who are just over the, and I know that I'm speaking to a lot of people who are brilliant. I'm speaking to a lot of people who are geniuses. And I've said before, when we are extremely brilliant and geniuses and we come together, we talk about people who aren't that smart. And it's just, we have some funny conversations, right? So we about to talk. Like, I literally think he's just above the brink of like, look at his eyes. Like, he's kind of doe-eyed. Like, he can travel, but how functional is he really? Thank you for answering that, Samoy. I really appreciate you very much. I gave an announcement already this week, and I don't feel like saying it again, but y'all look at Samoy. Samoy said hello, and Samoy got the damn answer to the question. So thank you, Samoy. I'm gonna leave that up there for a second. Thank you. So yeah, I just think that he might not be, I think he might be arrogant. Like, he's smarter than the people he grew up around. He's smarter than his peers. Apparently. He's smarter. I don't know how he fools people, though, because I don't think he's ever run through Charlotte. I don't think he would survive. I don't think we would have put up with that. By the time he was running amok, we had put out a few in Charlotte. Some of our own we had to expose. We had to expose our own police folks and ministers and people of our own ilk for being like this. Mario. But I just think he might just be right above intelligent, right above. Because intelligent is a big thing. It's not just, there's levels to this shit. So I think he's just smart enough to not be dumb. Because I don't know like how regular people think. Many of us are highly intelligent, highly functioning beings. Many of you are. I know by the way we talk. I know that we're high thinking, high functioning individuals. And we look at somebody like him and we're like, how did he scam anybody? And really, there are a lot of people that aren't. And he's able to take advantage of a lot of people. Or people that are in different stages of their intelligence or coming into knowledge and understanding of these types of things. I don't know. I don't know how he wraps his own mind around this, because he does some stupid shit. Like, he does stuff that's gonna get him locked up, and I don't understand why he doesn't understand that.
I never wanted to put out your personal address, but you put it out publicly that I did. I don't want any harm to come to you. I don't want any harm to come to your children. Nobody is after y'all. I am moving forward. I'm asking for you all to do the same.
I mean, just to do a little bit of that body analysis bullshit, If y'all could just look at he's working so hard to look serious. If I zoomed into his cheekbones, you would see that they are lifted, and you would see duping delight. You would see the under layers of the micro behavior of duping delight. And we've talked about duping delight before. Duping delight is when a person is so pleased with their ability to tell a believable lie that they smile a little bit, they giggle a little bit. Great liars are able to do it well after they've told the lie, but they still do it if you keep watching. Hey, Linda. We haven't gotten to Thornton yet, so hang in there. Yeah, if you zoom in, if you have a device where you can zoom in real close, like I got my phone right here, and I can zoom in real close, you can see that if you just zoom in on his cheeks and just the line of his cheeks and his nose, it looks like he's smiling. Because he don't even believe what the fuck he's saying. He's proud of himself for how he was able to attack that woman, because all he really wanted was some attention. So he'll say and do, I gave him the attention first when I first met him. Don't fuck with you, don't fuck with me. Okay? Don't come around here with that motherfucking bullshit. I gave him the attention when I first met him. That's what he wanted. That's what he got. I didn't play games with him and give somebody something, but try to have a conversation with him on the back end, knowing there was some serious shit going on. I didn't do that because I don't get down like that. I understand this work that I do. I make it fun. I keep it creative. I keep it enticing and salacious. But really what we're doing is work. We know that. He knows that. So it wasn't a game to me for me to like play. How can I use this person to boost up my views and boost up my name in these YouTube streets? And I definitely don't play those kind of games. I never have. See, I'm the type of bitch that if my friends don't fuck with you, I don't fuck with you. That's just how I roll. Now, I don't expect my friends to be that way, but I trust my friends. And if my people don't fuck with you, I don't fuck with you. That's just how I roll. There's never a question about me. You understand? And so that's why this man has terrorized this woman to the point where she cried out. That's the same thing he did with Burgundy Blue. She kept a lot in the background. She allowed a lot to happen behind closed doors and was trying to handle things privately until and that's what he wanted. I mean, but it's nobody else's fault that your daddy came in your life and said you needed to change your name and then he still abandoned you. That's not everybody else's fault. That's something you need to sit down and talk to somebody about. Instead of making everybody else feel the need to fill that void for you, either as an investigator or as your opponent. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. And you go around and you cause problems. And I'm talking to Jedediah, y'all know that. You go around and you cause problems, and you cause chaos for attention, and then you disappear on those people. There were people who were depending, like literally for some fucking reason, depending on you to actually make a change in Dalton. You just make it harder for the next person who actually does go in there to make a change. And you don't care about that because all you wanted was their attention and their money. Well, I'm giving you the attention tonight, but shit, you fuck with me, I'm gonna be the one with the money. You better heard about me.
Cut the shenanigans, and I had to do this in a public way again.
What does Goofy mean, cut the shenanigans? None of this shit would have even happened had he not went out of his way to be messy.
Now, what did I tell y'all? When one of us is under attack, what do? Stand up, fight back, but fight back with the facts.
Be careful what you wish for, because Sheena did just that, and she fought back with the facts.